Hello, everyone. Just wanted to do a video on a new Stratomatic football. I know a lot of my videos in 2025 really focused on Elvis, and some DVDs and stuff like that. This year, I want to, still do the Elvis, videos, of course, and DVDs, unboxings, and stuff like that. But I really want to get back into tabletop dice games, sports games. That was something that I was very passionate about. I started playing them in 2019 after reading Keith Hernandez's autobiography. He talked about playing a game called Stratomatic baseball, and I was like, I was very interested in. Oh, that sounds really cool. And I thought, man, maybe it was an old game that's not around anymore. Did some research and went on YouTube, of course, and saw that the game was still around, and I was hooked. From that day on, and went on. Not only baseball, basketball, football, wrestling games, all that. And but I wanted to, definitely this year, 2026, I really wanted to get back to starting playing some of these tabletop games. 2025, I was working on some other things. I started going back to writing screenplays, and that's another video. We can talk about that another time. But really, this year, I wanted to get back to tabletop sports, and I wanted to get a football game. And so I was doing a lot of research on football games, and I already have second season Play.com's second season. I have second season and the second season Express. I've never played the full version of second season. I've played, the Express version, which I really enjoy. But I really wanted to get like a full blown like football game, down by down plays, and which is not too complicated. And the only thing I know, I say this, I'm pretty sure second season, once you start playing it, is probably easy. But I was watching a lot of videos on YouTube about it, and just to me, it just looked a little complicated, and it was like going to be a certain learning curve in order to grasp the game, and I know I should just start playing it, and just I'll probably it's nothing. It's such an easy game to get into, but I decided to go with Stratomatic. So Stratomatic had their Black Friday sale, and I think it was like 30% off. The football, basketball games, and hockey games. I think baseball was like 25% off, if I remember. But I started watching a lot of videos on YouTube of Stratomatic football, and just watching the basic version. It looked like it was easy. It looked like it was something that I could handle. So I wanted to, and again, this is like the way Stratomatic is. It's like it's like three games in one. You have the basic, you have the advanced, and then super advanced. Same with I guess the baseball and the football and the hockey game. Of course, with this one, I'm probably just gonna stick with the basic. Maybe if I feel comfortable someday, maybe go to the advanced. I watch a lot of Sportsman Z's videos on YouTube, and he basically, I think, usually just plays the basic version, and I think it plays well, and I don't think you still get the drama of the game through the basic version and stuff. So I already opened it up. I've already played like 3 games already, so we'll discuss what I'm doing with this project that I'm working on. But just wanted to show you, if you're interested in purchasing it, what the game box looks like. Here's the back. It's upside down. So there we go. All right, so I'm gonna open it up, show you what you kind of get in there. Again, all this was already open, so you get rubber bands for the cards if you want to use them, and then you get your dice. I already put the dice in a bag, but it's a standard Stratomatic dice that you get. You have your rule book, so it's like the basic, advanced, super advanced, rule book of how to play the game. So it's let's see what else I got. I also bought the score sheets. What sucks about Stratomatic is they don't offer, most companies, gaming companies, they, as a free download, they offer like the score sheets. That's one of the things that I don't like about Stratomatic. They don't really offer any like freebies or anything. But I bought it's like $6, some extra score sheets. But what I did was I went to Staples and I made copies of them, so I'm set for for a while, hopefully. Depending on what season you get like this. I got the 1986 season, so you get kind of like a roster sheet. You have the only chart really in the game is this chart, because a lot of results are you get on the cards themselves, and especially if you're playing the basic version that I'm doing. The only really charts I really look at short gains, long gains, and interception returns. I haven't done penalties yet. That's something I'll work into. I'm not really comfortable yet doing penalties, but I will eventually. And then this is you get 2 of these, because I guess the game is designed for you to play with somebody else. But I don't have any friends, so I have to play solo. So this is the I guess what you call it, the plays and stuff. So you get that. Then you have the field, and then the timer to keep track of the time of the game. And then you have the board, which is not really necessary. The board's not really necessary if you're playing basic. I think this comes when you play like the advanced or super advanced. But I still have it out, I guess. And then you get like these. I guess these things are for I guess you're playing advanced and stuff. And you have another set of these, and then the back is the advanced version of it. So let's put that back in there. So I got the 1986 season. I'll show you what that looks like. I'll show you what the cards look like. Yep. So typical, Strat Matic. If you're a fan of, if you're familiar with the baseball game, it's typical box and stuff. So the cards. So what I did for the cards, I bought this from Amazon, so I can store the cards and not put a rubber band around it, because eventually someday it will damage the cards, I guess. So I got the 7-coin white envelopes. I went with the white envelopes because they were a little bit cheaper than the yellow golden ones, I guess. So yeah, this is, and what I did was this is just an example of one of the cards. It's this is the Cleveland Browns. So I just got a sticker. I just bought some stickers, or I think I printed these out at Staples. Stickers of the games, of the helmets of the team, and just wrote down their the team name, 1986 Cleveland Browns, and just typical Strat Matic cards. This is Boney Cursor's quarterback. You can see here and there. So I'm not going to go in details about the cards. I mean, there's other YouTube videos out there that gives you more, there's more, details of the cards and everything. So the project I'm working on right now, I'm doing a 1986 replay, and it's first, let me show you the score sheet real quick. So this is the score sheet you get from Strat Matic. So this is what I'm going to be using. If you know any better like score sheets to use, please let me know. This is what I currently use. And this is the back. I'm not a big fan of the score sheets because I don't like going back and for my games I'm just tracking so I'm doing the 1986 replay of the NFL 1986 season, but I'm only playing with Strat Matic. I'm only playing those Cleveland Browns games. And everything else, I'm going to be, all the other games in the league, I'm going to be using Downey Games Final Score football, and I'll show that too. But yeah, so it's annoying. I would wish the quarters score periods would be in the front here. But with stats, I'm only keeping track of the Cleveland Browns stats. I'm not doing the other teams or anything. So just keeping track of the Browns stats, and basically just keeping track of the quarterback and the receivers and rushing, passing and rushing, and that's pretty much it. So just basically the front part. But what I noticed when I was playing some practice games, I was it was hard. It's hard maybe after a while, but it was hard for me to keep track of the timing. I noticed I was making a lot of mistakes where I wasn't moving the thing to keep track of the timing of the game, or maybe I was forgetting what down it was or whatever. So I went on, did a search, and I think this was on the maybe on one of the Delphi forums for Stratomatic football. This score sheet that someone made, and this is what I'm definitely using. This has been really helpful for me. Maybe like once I get more comfortable with the game and stuff, I might not need this, but it's really cool because this is how I keep track of time. As you can see, you have the time over there, and you have what yard it is, what down it is, the team, what play you're calling. Did the defense guess right, and then the result of the play. Um, I don't think it really slows down. So I'm writing it. I don't think it really slows down the game. I think it's just really for me really a great game helper. So this is definitely I use, and I'll show you what it looks like once I have one. I've played so far 3 games, and I'll show you what the score sheet looks like when I'm done. Yeah, so this is the Cleveland Browns. So this is how the envelopes I use to store the cards. And I got this on Amazon. I think it was like $11. I got the white envelopes because they were cheaper than when I got 100 of them. I probably don't need that many, but I don't know. The other ones I couldn't. I don't. I guess I couldn't find the other ones or whatever. So I got the 100 ones. So maybe if I buy another season or something, or another baseball season from Stratomatic, I'll have extras envelopes for them. So yeah, so I'm doing. So let me show you what I have so far. So this is the last game I did. Probably my score sheets are probably wrong. I'm doing my best trying to figure out how to keep track of keeping score with football, stats and everything like that. But yeah, so this is it was the Bengals versus the Browns. The Bengals won 31-14, which is very similar to what happened in real life. That was really scary how the scores were really similar. But yeah, so this is so this is how I fill this out, and it just helps me just keep everything organized. So I have that. So let me. So I went to footballreference.com to get the schedule for the 1986 season. And let me show you what I have here. So this is basically just the Cleveland Browns schedule from 1986. So what I did was just the day of the game, which is not really necessary, but the opponent, of course, and then I also keep the score, what happened, what was the result was like in real life, to compare it, because that's one of the things I enjoy about these tabletop games is comparing what happened in real life to the replay. If it was similar, was it like different? So so far, at this point, I'm on week 3. We're 1-2, and that's what happened in real life. When I talk about the game I just recently played against the Bengals, in real life the Bengals won 30-13. In my replay, the Bengals won 31-14. So the score was almost identical. I was scary how close it was. And then also the other game, the week 2, the Bengals played Houston, and we won 21-13. In the real life, the Browns won 23-20. So that's pretty. So far, everything's following how it's happening in real life. We'll see what happens. And then I went to footballreference.com and made a sheet. I guess this is similar to like Excel. I don't think it's called Excel and Mac. I think it's called Numbers or something like that. But I printed, made a sheet for the 1986 NFL schedule. And so again, I'm only playing with Strat. Full game is the Cleveland Browns schedule. I might change that up. Maybe I'll play some other games, but right now just the Browns, and I'm using the Downey Games final score football, and I'll show you that game in a second. So I have that. I also have the standings right now. I have this all typed up, so eventually, like I have this like a file that I'll input the numbers and stuff. But once I'm right now it's just pencil right now. So we're doing that. And final, if you're not familiar with like Downey Games offers a lot of ultra quick games, like just getting like a score. Let me show you the what it looks like. I made like a folder for it, but this is what the cover looks like. And Downey Games presents Final Score Football. So they have ultra quick football, and they also sell this game, Final Score Football. I went with Final Score Football because it goes you're rolling for each quarter, and it just makes the game, even though you're just getting the scores, it just makes the game more, I don't know. You get to see the flow of the game, and in your mind you could envision the drama of the game and stuff like that, instead of just rolling and just getting a simple score at the end. That might be a little bit quicker, of course, but I like to see, each quarter, the progression of each quarter, seeing, oh, this team was ahead during the halftime, oh, and then this team made a comeback and stuff. And in my mind, just kind of like think of how the game would have gone and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I'm using. So I got, a couple, maybe a year or two ago, I got the 1986 I got the 1980s package from Downey Games. So you have every team from 1980 to 1980, every season from 1980 to 1989, and so this is what you get when you. This is like this. So this is an example of the 1986 teams. So it's really simple. You don't get any schedules or anything like that. You get the list of teams and their ratings. It's this chart here, so you can input that and figure out. There's a little math you have to do in the beginning. There's some stuff, but once you start rolling, it's really simple, and it doesn't take too much time. So yeah, so I got the 1986 already set here. This is the score sheet, the score charts here, so you can. I'm gonna do. I think in one of my videos, many years ago, maybe I did like a video of showing this game, and I'll do more videos about this game because I really enjoy it. Because it could be a standalone game. You just play and just get the standings and stuff, and try to see if your season turns out the way it happened in real life. Or what I'm doing, it could be something when you're doing a replay and you want to get the scores from other games in the league. This is something that you can do, and this is just an example of what the score sheet looks like. Like that. So that is going to be my project for 2026. Again, I'm gonna try to get and then of course when we eventually get to the playoffs, I'm gonna probably play all the playoff games through Stratomatic, so I won't use the Final Score football for that. So that's it. Really enjoying the game right now, and it's making me think. It's like maybe I'm looking forward to seeing like what other seasons they're going to come out with Stratomatic this year, what classic season they might be coming out with and stuff like that. But I'm going to make hopefully I'll make some update videos of how the season's going. I don't do like game, like showing you the game played and stuff like that, because I don't have really, for that you'll need the camera, above camera looking down at the board and stuff. And I don't know if people really, I'm not the best commentator when it comes to like calling the action of the game during these these replays, showing them on YouTube. I might show a little bit of the Final Score, football, because that's simple and won't take that much time, and I can just use my cell phone on that. But that's it. Thank you for watching.